You're listening to the Bantering Bohs Show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bohs fans, it's your boy JR. Do you like to shop? Of course you do. Amazon is everything you need. I mean, literally everything you need. From Amazon Fire tablets to the latest Blu-rays and video games, all you got to do is just click on that Amazon banner on our website, thebanteringbohs.com. And if you really want to help us out and support the whole thing we got going on here, then please do us a favor. Do all your shopping through our Amazon page here at the Bantering Bohs. Thank you.
It's just time to be done with it. I mean, you know.
I've been saying that for how many weeks now?
It's expired, you know. It's just like you have that, like...
It's expired, that just don't leave it down.
You have that, like, Qdoba that's in the fridge, and you know it's just old, and you just keep, you know, looking at it. Just let it sit there. I don't know. It's just, it's getting stale.
Okay,
that's what it is. So, anywho, you know what doesn't get stale, Bradley and JR? The banter of the week, or the public service announcement. Sometimes, as we like to call it.
Actually, I put
will.
this more on the sermon of the week, if you will.
Okay.
My brothers and sisters,
bow your heads in prayer.
Bow your heads. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
So I suppose it's not going to be explicit, but we know what this is going to be now.
I have a dream that one day my brothers and sisters behind the wheel of cars in the state that we live in of Maryland will be able to drive not like retarded a-holes, but be able to drive like smart, sensible people during, before, and after a rain or thunderstorm. Too many times has my car come close to having to go to that great beyond known as Crazy Ray's, where you can get all your motors and parts for $300 a change. But ladies and gentlemen, please be more aware of your surroundings. Know that when someone does not have a stop sign and you do, slow the hell down, because I do not want to be driving around in a version of your BMW while my car's in the shop. Can I get an amen, brothers and sisters?
Amen.
Amen.
Slow the hell down, you idiots.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk to somebody that we kind of know that has no affiliation with this show whatsoever. Okay. And he was, you know, driving at a higher rate of speed. Not that he's proud of it or whatever. This is another public service announcement.
You got double feature tonight, folks.
As they say, piggyback, which I really hate, by the way, also. Well, that's another conversation for another day. But driving and texting and taking pictures of yourself.
How are you selfieing in the car?
While you're or not even so much of yourself, but of the speed that you're going while listening to a certain soundtrack. Which is not a good idea. Because you know what? Like it or not, however old you are, gang, Mom and Dad are always going to find out and give you an ass chewing. Because your dad...
What'd you do?
And maybe your dad... maybe a certain person...
Move. Get out the way.
Actually, it was Back to the Future soundtrack. But,
Yeah, 88 miles.
yeah. And, you know, maybe Dad will just give you an ass chewing saying, "You were one stupid mother."
Now they have evidence. Now they have evidence against you in a court of law.
Yeah. No, I had to hear about that, too. I mean, the guy... Juan had to hear about that, yeah. So, you know, Juan, if you're listening out there, you really are one stupid.
You were the wrong Juan.
You are really one stupid mother.
This is the Bantering Bohs Show. Brian Thomas, the movie buff. From movie news and reviews to the most useless movie facts you don't need to know. Brian is the true connoisseur of Hollywood. Brad Beals, the video game guru. From the latest trending gaming reviews to highlights of the best games you're not playing, there's a reason we call him Game Genie. James Revere, the sports fanatic. From game recaps to stats to insight on the latest sports controversies. Move over, Bob Costas. JR will run you over. And now, here are your hosts, the Bohs.
Back to the old grind. Welcome, everyone, to the Bantering Bohs Show. My name is Brian Thomas, and joining me, as always, is the rest of the Bohs. Mr. JR,
Stay hungry.
Mr. Brad Beals.
It gon' rain.
Oh, stay safe on those roads, Bradley.
Yeah, seriously.
Watch out for those people who turn on their hazard lights.
They don't turn
And you know
those
who
on.
I'm talking about. Yeah. Rain just hits the roads.
They
and
just hit the road. Oh my God! Slam brake.
Yeah, we could go on and on about that. But maybe that'll be a bonus episode one day. Driving tips by the Bohs. This is the show where we recap the latest news and hot topics in video games, sports, and movies, and then banter about them. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Sunday fun day.
Or Monday.
Whatever time you listen to it. Happy day to you.
Happy Man Crush Monday, Bradley.
Man Crush. I know you're thinking about
I'm
me.
dubbed Musicians Crush Monday so we can have hot chicks on the internet playing instruments.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay. We can make that happen. Definitely.
I'll start sending you links and pictures.
I would appreciate it. Yep. Anyway, though, boys, welcome back. Technically, we're off for 2 weeks in a way. A week and a half almost.
Are we?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A week
We
and a
did
half.
a
Yeah,
long
we
work.
had that episode in there, and
middle.
it is climbing the charts.
Hey,
Yeah.
we give the peeps what they want.
Oh, did we ever? And we know that we left probably a few out there, and I will say Ghostbusters happens to be the one that I
The
don't
first
know.
text he sends back is like, how the F did we forget Ghostbusters? And I'm like, dude, we talk about it so much on the show. It's
because
all
we're
right.
obsessing about that train wreck that's going to be the female version. And yes, I still call it the female version.
Basically.
Well, what happens when the Channing Tatum version comes out?
That was canceled. You told us that was canceled.
No, it's back on.
Oh, for the love of cheat. I'm done. Out.
Mind's blown. We're out of here. Okay.
Show's over. Go and seal it.
All he has to do is, hey, I really think I would be a good actor for that one movie.
Yeah.
I can act.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can dry hump, that's for damn sure. Prove that, Imagine Mike. Never mind. Gotta get
Of
that
course,
image
of
out
all
my-
things, you bring up that fact.
Well, I didn't expect to go that route, but this has really gotten more uncomfortable than I thought it would be. Anyway.
Explicit rating. Okay. Anyway,
dear
boys, how
Lord.
you doing? Give me.
I want to know how the hell you know this information now.
We knew that I watched Magic Mike. It's no secret.
That movie has whelped his friends into
Mad.
Oh.
That's it, man. Game over, man.
Yeah.
Game over.
Well, clearly Brian is feeling fabulous today. Otherwise than that, I'm doing fine. How about yourself, JR?
Yeah, hanging in there.
It was a long night last night. Calling in a night at 11 o'clock. On a Saturday night. Nothing like that. Falling asleep with a taquito in your mouth, and all I can say is
Really enjoyed that Mike back.
that taquito. And speaking of taquitos, how are those Orioles there doing, Jr.?
That made no sense.
That made it work. All right.
Nothing.
Unless you want to go with...
Can we try again?
What you could say is, speaking of taquitos, how are those Dominicans that Colin Coward hates in baseball so much, JR?
I wasn't even going for that, but see, you can do the transitions better than I can, so.
That's what I'm here for. Mr. Baseball. Best baseball. No, not the best baseball movie. But
Let's try that again.
there we go.
There you go.
It's Mr. Baseball. Yeah, okay, that was kind of news. I guess we won't go to the Orioles just yet, but it is baseball related. ESPN, I wouldn't even call it a news network because they have no skills when it comes to reporting or journalistic integrity whatsoever. Somebody asked Colin Coward what he thought of the state of baseball was, and he said, it is still a pretty kind of an intellectually involved game. There's some skill set you need to kind of think about. And Coward's response was basically to the point of, well, it must not be too intricate. It's full of Dominicans.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's been fired, as you would expect.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I don't think it's full of it. I mean, we got Wei and Chen. Hello.
Yeah, he's on the Mountain Night, and actually, I think they did win tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
That we did.
Okay, that's jumping all
ahead.
over the place. I'm sorry,
But, so, yeah, that's just another proof of why.
Way to go, Chen. We're with you, buddy. So
no Seboko or Harikiri this evening. Yeah. Actually, another thing that we will go into with sports as well. I know you guys growing up at some point you watched Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
watched him in, let's see, he had a guest spot in the A-Team. He was obviously, I think he did a little guest spot in Rocky too. Yeah, Rocky 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's about the extent that Hulk. Oh, and Thunder in Paradise or something like that. That TV
was
show.
it?
Yeah,
That was
that
it.
was the one. Yeah.
Thunder in Paradise, and then there was Suburban Commando. He did
a cameo in Spy
He
Hard.
did the prequel to what would become The Pacifier. I forgot what the name of it was.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Wasn't it Christopher Lloyd that was in that? No.
That was Suburban Commando.
That was American Commando, yeah.
Okay.
But so anyway, no matter what your affiliations with Hulk Hogan may have been at some point, apparently
Hogan knows
he
best.
is a racist son of a bitch.
Yeah, I heard
think.
about this.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm definitely aware of his daughter, you know.
Oh God, so fine. So not talented. I still remember that summer she decided to try to be a musician.
I remember that.
What were you?
I don't even remember the
thinking?
song at all, but it was just...
It's like, do us a favor because you are actually attractive. You have no talent. Be like Kardashian. Make a sex tape. Make us all happy. Go make some millions.
Yeah.
And James did his typical Simon Cowell. That was bloody awful.
That was atrocious. But anyway, he was caught on tape talking with someone about who he approves to be dating his daughter.
Oh, no.
There was about 57 N-words in that 6-minute span. Basically said, if my daughter is going to date an African-American male, I hope she at least makes sure that he is tall, talented, and rich. So basically dating a basketball or football player. WWE responded accordingly and proceeded to fire him, strip him of his Hall of Fame status, remove him and all of his merchandise off the websites. Just a good old boy. So yeah, kind of a tragic thing for someone who did so much for pro wrestling and all those old people who still think it's real. How can you say it's fake?
Hulkamania is no more.
Yeah. Hulkamania does exist, apparently,
Yeah.
just anywhere where the Confederate flag still flies.
No wonder it was red.
But anyway. Actually, it kind of brings up a good caveat and a point, though. For them sticking up so much for all of their African-American fans, they take their African-American talent on the roster about as seriously as we take Al Sharpton.
Wow.
Their mainstays right now include a group of 3 guys who are a kind of gospel, religious, stereotypical black church setting, the most racially slanted crap I've ever watched. They got this a little backwards here. It's like, well, we're sticking up for him here, even though we've got all this racism that we put on a day-to-day basis here. So, it's no wonder they're losing money by the billions. But anyway, now on to stuff we actually give a about. The Orioles. The number 1 story. Is it August yet? Because this month sucks.
This is...
the truth.
Gotta say, I don't like those alerts that I'm getting on my phone, man. I really gotta tell you.
Yeah, we're
If I try to turn them off.
7-13 this month. After a 3-game sweep by the New York Yankees, we are now 7 games back and sitting in 4th place. But we did just move up to 3rd place with winning 2 of 3 from Tampa. I don't know who's telling them to do what in regards to swinging for the fences or runners in scoring position, but I think they're still hitting, a nice robust 157.
This kind of relates to Mr. Baseball when Tom Selleck went over to Japan. He couldn't hit for shit.
Yeah, they all have holes in their swings.
And then the chief just said, swing away.
The problem is they're swinging away, but nothing's happening.
Swing away, Tom Selleck.
Buck has been doing crazy stuff with his lineups. You have Chris Davis batting 2nd, which is kind of that's the spot you want someone who can move faster and doesn't need Adderall to get around the bases. But it
You can only focus on one thing at a time.
like,
Wait, you want me to hit, then run?
if he goes here, he could just, oh, that's so much easier, but he puts him 2nd. Oh my God, I have to situationally hit? I'm going to strike out. But yeah, they're showed signs of life. It'll be interesting. Atlanta comes to town as of tomorrow. Nick Markakis is back in Oriole Park. I don't know why it's been such a thing. Everyone's going, what kind of reaction are you going to give Nick if you go to the game? Are you going to boo him? It's like, the guy was...
I will look for you. I will find you.
And I will boo you. And I will. The guy was in town for 10, 12 years as an Oriole. We're really going to turn on him that quickly because somebody offered him.
We're Baltimore fans. We're better that way. You know.
Yeah.
We're better than that.
Yeah.
Screw you for leaving our
I mean, somebody offered him $6 million more than we did to be a singles hitter. I don't fault the guy for that. I would have told.
Pretty much the hot girl had more to offer. She had bigger cans. And, you know, and, you know,
She had big
you know,
plots of land. 11 million acres worth of land. So, I mean, you know, if I get a chance to actually sit down while I'm on break or something and watch some of it, he comes up, I'm going to cheer for him because it was good times with him.
he's not A-Rod. Just remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
He doesn't cheat.
No.
40 years old and you've already hit 30 home runs. Yeah, no. He is one step ahead of the game. I don't know how we're going to find out, but he's going to have a tainted pee. I guarantee it. He is paying somebody on the side, and they're keeping him up to his eyeballs and clean urine. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Let me urine.
Let me ask you this, JR. Okay, we're in the ass end of July right about now.
Yeah.
At what point, if the Orioles continue on the road that they're on right now, do we begin to worry? Saying that we don't even have a chance of a wild card.
If nothing has improved by middle to late August,
We got a month.
yeah. If at this time next month we are more like 10 games back or 12 or more, that kind of thing.
Time to move on to football.
Let's start.
Actually,
let's start
It
paying
does start.
attention.
It does start, yeah.
So,
That's the Baltimore way. One team's not
it's usually how it goes. Oh, they suck. They've only gotten to the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. We don't give a damn. Let's watch football.
Yeah.
But as is the typical bandwagon fans in Baltimore that I've bantered and
That's
hated on
it,
so
man.
much.
Game over, man.
Oh,
Game
shut up, Hicks. Anyway, baseball trade deadline is July 31st. That is this Friday. The Orioles are linked to pretty much every single person in all of baseball that knows how to hit. As you can tell with how bad our offense is doing. Big domino that we were linked to, Johnny Cueto, he gets traded to Kansas City. We all remember them as much as we wanted to kill them all for doing the wobble and the Cupid shuffle on first base every time they got a walk or a base hit.
I got a few words for him. I can't air it right now.
It's okay, we all do.
Yep.
Although the funny part is none of us gave a damn about Kansas City. But now it's like, burn in hell.
Kansas City who?
It's like, Kansas City? I can't even find that on the map. I know where they are. Let's nuke them now. I have a dirty bomb. Let's go. The only problem with the Orioles wanting to make trades is they don't have a lot of people in the minors to do it with. So that becomes the issue of, we're 7 games back. Do we really dare try to get better by clearing house of the farm system, keeping everybody in town and going for it all? Or do we maybe trade a Matt Wieters or trade a Chris Davis if that means
To free up.
we can get younger in some spots? We get some players that we don't have to worry about signing. Because the Orioles still have 9 free agents at the end of this year they have to worry about. So if you could get a couple of top prospects that are ready to come up now for Matt Wieters, or you can get a front of the rotation guy for a Wei-Yin Chen who's signed for 4 years, go for it. I don't know.
Whoa, this is heavy.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's going to come down to money-wise, obviously.
As a general manager, I don't know if I'd be good, but I'd certainly be better than Dan Duquette with his aspirations to go to Toronto and not doing crap for us this offseason.
Yeah.
But that's not
Should have seen that coming a mile away.
So it'll be interesting. There'll be some new names in town, I have a feeling, by this coming Friday. So, I'll have the updates as I can.
Okay.
On the
Sounds good.
banteringbohs.com.
Very good.
And now on to the NFL as we So yeah, we still have this crap going on.
Sorry. Drive by.
Dude, no one's been arrested.
Okay. When was the last time I played the theme?
Pretty much every time I have Ravens news.
I haven't played that in a long time.
Well, I haven't had a lot of Ravens news lately.
Well, then you're in luck.
This isn't about the Ravens anyway.
Okay, good.
It's about Tom Brady.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Close enough.
Yeah.
That's a pussy. Well.
We still have yet to get Roger Goodell's answer about this suspension.
Oh, speaking
stalling.
of kitty cats, yeah, okay.
The Players Association has officially said
Hold on. Anytime you mention Goodell, new theme.
It is a circus.
Yes.
He has no clue what's going on.
And next, if you look at this way, ladies and gentlemen,
You'll see the deflatable man. Be it his balls, be it his ego, this man cannot stay erect. Just ask his hot wife who's over there with their 4 kids. Was that a surrogate? Yes, it was. Okay. So yeah, speaking of the crotch stain that is Tom Brady, rumors are swirling around right now that quite a few of the owners have been sending emails, phone calls, text messages to Goodell saying, "May God have mercy on your soul if you do not keep this suspension." Like, we don't care about any lawsuit the Players Association will levy on you. If you don't do this, you will have lost respect for half of the owners right now, and this the entire
basically
organization of football becomes a laughingstock if you do not show the cojones right now.
I know Shoddy was one of those guys, definitely.
That's where the Ravens do come in, but it's not player related, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
it's not us, thank God. Someone else messed up.
Steve Bisciotti.
Hold the gunshot sound effects, Bradley.
I know.
Actually, with the owners, I think it would be more of a
Locked and loaded, ready to go.
Bisciotti and the drunk pill-popping idiot known as Jim Irsay from Indianapolis. They are two who have supposedly been leading the way, according to Sal Palantonio, who works for ESPN, and we know how I feel about them. So Bisciotti comes out and has vehemently denied the whole thing. So I'm going to go with Bisciotti because ESPN doesn't know what the hell they're doing. We'll stay tuned. I mean, how long's it been now? A month and a half since they said, he's gonna. I'm gonna hear his appeal.
Yeah, okay.
Way too long. My guess would be right now they're enjoying a candlelit dinner on a cruise liner that's been going around the world for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
whose balls are we gonna,
Yeah, they've been
balls of steel.
I wouldn't give him that kind of a compliment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. I was actually lucky enough a couple days ago to win 2 passes to training camp on the 31st.
There you go.
So if I can have any information, opinions, or anything like that, I will be sure to.
We'll have an on-field
pass them
reporter,
on.
Bradley. We're moving up in the world.
Bring out your phone and start recording.
Yeah, for one day, for maybe an hour and a half, and cell phones, I'm pretty sure have to stay in the car. So it's going to be more
Do you
of
have tape recorder?
Audio
it's gonna be
recorder.
more of a. No, go back. I didn't get that. What did you just do? So we'll.
Okay.
Yeah, but speaking of pictures and all things that look good in the world, got any VGs for us over there, dude?
Does he ever?
Trust me, I keep sending them to Brian if you ever see our text messages. And how many of them a week does he actually post? 1 if I'm lucky. 2.
That's
yeah,
total
basically,
crap. That is so total crap.
Let me go through the backlog. of all the ones I've sent
whatever.
him.
You just want
No, you.
airing
you
of grievances
keep up,
is at the beginning of the show.
You keep up, Brian. I'll give it to you.
I do what I can.
I know.
But-
I'm just so.
But we
proud of my
know
shots.
Wednesday is definitely, Woman Crush Wednesday, and that's just. But we have been including the Hump Day one, but we had
We got Women Crush Wednesdays. We'll have Women on Monday. Yeah, it'll work.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, we had the not to get too sidetracked.
We're just gonna have TNA
Wait.
all over our Instagram.
we had the Suicide Squad, Bradley's Suicide Squad GTA.
Yeah,
on
that one up
Monday.
there.
That was a good one. Yeah. So.
Yeah, a bunch of guys.
And then the
together.
Friday flyby, with the car just doing
Oh,
the
that
Dukes
one
of
was.
Hazzard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was doing the Dukes of Hazzard in basically an old Cadillac. It was orange, and it was orange colored too.
Minus
And
the
during
Confederate
sunset.
flag. Thank God.
Yeah, minus the Confederate flag. Well, because it was a convertible, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
What can I say? But on to other things that are flying around.
Got a lot of show notes tonight.
Well,
That's what happens when you take a week and a half off.
Oh yeah, true. There's a couple things that go through and happen, but at the same time, I want to touch on kind of the bigger stuff, more recent things. I want to go into too much, in the backlog, but especially with the whole controversy with Kojima and Konami being basically idiots out there. In a recent interview with IGN, Guillermo del Toro said that he still is going to be working with Kojima on upcoming title or project of that matter, and is still looking into that. So good to know that they're still on board. Don't know what it is or what it can be, but still that they still want to get back together.
Oh, that'd be cool to see a Del Toro video game production company or something.
Exactly. I mean, well,
Thank you, Drill Sergeant.
seeing now that Del Toro has been tried maybe twice now to try and get a video game off the ground, and Kojima with the efforts that Konami's basically we're not going to do video games anymore.
Bloody idiots.
Pretty much now, even the recent posters they just put out now recently for Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, showing off the two characters, Solid Snake and the female character in there, just covered in blood. But they have on the poster, Kojima Productions is not even anywhere on the poster itself. Konami is prominent on there, but yeah, need I say more and how drama this is? Seriously, Konami, just F you right now.
I smell lawsuits coming.
Basically. But on to other things that will not be lawsuits, especially. Smite, the free-to-play mobile game that has just come out. So basically from, instead of doing isometric style one, they do a third-person perspective one, has just reached 10 million players. And to celebrate this, they're releasing a free voice pack in the middle of August, voiced by the one and only Kevin Sorbo for the Hercules character. All right. So those are.
Well, you can't do another Walking Tall sequel because that's not happening for a long time.
No. But especially for the hero character, who else could you think to voice that alone? So.
Pretty nice looking young man, if I may say so myself.
Yes, but you'll be so players of the can get in there and get the voice pack for free in the month of August, and that's of course for PC, and also the beta is out there for the Xbox One as well. So for those who want to try it out, it's a MOBA game basically out there, but their difference from this is that they stick with the more Greek and just random mythological characters out there as well. They usually do various different religions as well, characters in there, and of course. Instead of doing the isometric top-down perspective, they do the third person behind the shoulder kind of perspective, which adds a little bit more depth to the game because you can't see somebody behind you instead of the traditional you see everything from top-down perspective. So it's an interesting game out there. Again, 10 million players out there still like it. So recently with the events that happened this past weekend, especially at QuakeCon that was going on, two things I want to touch on especially. One
news, everyone. Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that.
No, actually good news, especially Doom being shown off in all of its glory, especially the multiplayer that was shown off at QuakeCon this year. There's a gorgeous trailer out there somewhere. Somebody's got the leak footage of it. But also the announcement out there was that they'll be having an alpha test out there for people who are, again, possible chance that you can get this, for the multiplayer for owners who own Wolfenstein the New Order game especially. And if you have that bought and registered with the company, so you may get an invite out for the alpha of that. If you do, awesome. I totally want to get my hands on it if I'm lucky. Come on. Hi, Id. How's it going? Just saying. It'd be nice.
Very nice.
Exactly. So, of course, Doom's just looking fantastic, and I can't wait for that game to come out.
And what's the release date?
Next year. Was it possible? I can't remember what E3. I can't remember what E3 said the possible was. Hold on.
It's okay. No.
I have to go back in the show notes.
Just
all the way
later.
back.
Oh, Christ.
I know, going all the way back at E3, but those
You opened a can of worms.
Early
I know better than that.
2016 is what they said.
You mean to tell me we could get a Valentine's Day with Deadpool and Doom at the same time?
It's a match made in heaven.
My lord, there is a thing such as Cupid.
Seriously, ain't that the truth? Also, they were
It's
also
like steak and daddy.
Doom and Deadpool Day.
Yay!
I like that. I approve that message.
I approve that. Another things that I definitely approve of, the Fallout Anthology is going to be coming out as well. It's a whole bundled edition. It includes all the Fallout games from previously. Again, this does not include Fallout 4, but there is a spot in it as well as the entire package is packaged up in a mini nuke from the Fallout game especially. So in there, of course, you get all Fallout 1, 2, Tactics 3, and New Vegas, both Game of the Year editions of both those two games especially in there, and a slot too when you get the physical disc copy of Fallout 4. Now, of course, this is the PC versions of the game as well, as Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics are only from PC. So still, that's going to be coming out on September 29th for about $50 for the PC users. Still, in a little mini nuke. But on to other interesting notes that I didn't even know that, basically. Interesting things I didn't even know had to be implemented in. But the Electronic Sports League, or also known as the ESL, is known to be covering, that usually works in the showcase with a lot of esports events as well, and a lot of policies. And they're looking to implement a anti-doping policy into their procedures, which I find hilarious because I'm like, yes, video
My
games.
guess would be the one thing they're screaming for is no more Adderall.
Basically, that's one thing I'm thinking of. I'm just like, okay, anti-doping, but yeah, they're partnering up with the NADA, which is located in Bonn, Germany, as well, to come up with different what procedures and implementations of screening tests they'll be looking into to implement their performance-inducing drug, shall we say.
Unless it's like Adderall or something, all they're usually fueled on is Funyuns and Red Bull.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, what's different than the amounts of Monster Energy drink that they have them drink while they're actually playing
Don't
like
they
Counter-Strike?
want you doing that? Maybe just
That's what I'm trying to.
I only bought the Mountain Dew for the codes for Call of Duty, but there's so much sugar I can see sounds now. What's going on?
Oh dear God, and forget about the Doritos too.
Oh.
But yeah, at the same time, again, they said there are probably earlier testing will be probably skin test examinations if there was any kind of like, I guess, patches that are usually implemented,
I swear it's just a Nicorette patch.
So that's just the interesting thing that's good, that they're resorting to that level at the same time. Again, I don't
Bradley,
know, but
I gotta ask, would you submit to this test?
what am I going to be checking for? I don't know.
An electronic sports league is getting on the ball for doping, but Alex Rodriguez is still scot-free.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Logic in the thing.
I don't know what's right anymore.
Exactly. But on the things that are right, especially, I want to say Hearthstone, the game that keeps on giving, and how much I still love playing that in free time. Seriously, YouTube, download to your phones right now.
I'm running out of room. I have video of my fiance being made go-karts, but I would never want to delete that.
No, that's going up on our Instagram page, let's be honest.
All right, fine. Epic failure.
YouTube viral.
Basically, easily enough. So with the upcoming expansion from Hearthstone, as well as the Grand Tournament that's coming out there, especially new cards being implemented in, new card packs, the interesting new mechanic of the Inspire mechanic in there that adds it so that depending on how many times you use your hero power, they can buff up your cards especially. Interesting little dynamic in there. Again, adds more cards to the game. Can't go wrong because it needs more cards, obviously. Definitely. I do worry about new players getting into the game, especially because with a lot of people already having most of the cards right now, and new players get into it, they can get stomped. And acquiring new cards from there. I mean, they did implement in the Tavern Brawl system, which adds in a different gimmick each week, especially with a different preset set of rules or a couple already pre-made decks out there that you can use, especially for there. And go in there and try at the same level that other people in there. This past week was basically pretty much stomp anybody you want to with a pre-win, because it was set up that you started out with the max amount of energy to basically summon cards, and pretty much people just brought out all the legendary card decks and just stomped everybody.
I'm looking forward to playing this one.
You will.
Have fun with that, Brian.
Seriously.
Yeah,
no, it's, I mean, you do have the new expansion coming out, so at least more cards into it, so it at least makes it a lot more interesting. But on to other things, especially I knew
like
you
every
guys
other video game I play, I'll suck at it. But hey, I'll give it a try.
Here's something I knew you guys definitely pay attention to, especially with the announcement with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 coming out, the announcement. Sure. With now we have the dates, especially for the beta that'll be hitting, especially the PC and the Xbox One, that'll be dropping on August 26th. Now, this is a week after the PS4 version that comes out a week prior to it.
What do I have to own for the beta?
For the beta, you need to pre-order Call of Duty Black Ops 3. That's how you're going to be able to get into it. So, again, it'll run for about 5 days. You'll be able to try it out. Again, they're coming down the market. But just to let you know, for those out there, what time it'll be going. On to interesting news. Apparently, last thing I want to touch on, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, released 10 years ago for PC and as well as for Xbox, the original one.
Okay.
The PC version just recently got a huge update. Just recently. 10 years later, they decided to update the game to add in not only 37 new achievements that you can apply through the game, Steam cloud saves, native screen resolutions, up to 4 and 5K resolution support for the game, as well as various controller supports that includes all the Xbox Ones and all the PlayStation 4s, and not only that, the Steam Workshop integration. So yes, Steam mods that you can add into the game, which includes, for the nerds out there, the Sith Lords Restored Content mod, which adds in all the cut content that was originally taken out of the game, plus also huge bug fixes, is up on the store page. Nice. So that just takes that game and it's like, oh hey, this game came out 10 years ago. Yeah, I want to make it really good and play it on modern systems. Bam! Mod's already there. Don't need to worry about anything. Can't go wrong with that, because let's be honest, the only thing good modifying a game out there is to modify a game and not a movie, so.
I was going to catch you on that one. I was going to say, this is a good year to be a Star Wars fan, but right on there. Okay.
That makes up for the radio edit earlier.
Yeah, which most people won't even hear, so we'll talk about that again. did want to remind me to talk to you guys about Star Wars. We left something out from the Comic-Con a couple weeks ago or whatever, but I did want to get into... even though we missed a weekend box office, you didn't miss much because, in the words of JR. There's not much that's happened since then. When we last spoke, when we were doing the regular show, Ant-Man was just being released, Trainwreck was being released. Okay. And now it's been a week or so since then. Now Pixels has been released. The Adam Sandler crap.
Where is that author who really ripped that thing apart? I can't remember which.
I don't even know.
I can't remember which author it was, but I just remember reading the article and laughing my ass off.
It's probably funnier than any joke cracked in that whole movie.
Hey-o.
I know. I got him. So Ant-Man wasn't as big a financial success. Well, I mean, it's about where most people expected it to be. I mean, the first weekend it came out with like about $58 million. That's good. It came out number one, so give it the ding for that or whatever. It ain't getting the Guardians of the Galaxy money, obviously.
Marvel was hoping, it's a family thing. This is going to be 100.
And we're going to talk about this in a little while, so just we'll hold off on our Ant-Man discussion, Bradley, okay?
Yep.
Ant-Man came in this week at $24.7 million at number one, totaling out at $106 million. Pixels at number two with $24 million.
Why?
Yeah. Minions, those little guys are holding in there. And
Wait, hold on for a second.
Sure.
Pixels beat out Minions?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no...
I don't know what's right anymore.
How long have Minions been going, though, for? Like a month?
Minions been at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
maybe
yeah.
longer. So, but staying at the number 3, Minions is making money, man.
True.
So,
yeah.
if anything, the fact that it just barely beat out Minions is sad.
Yeah.
So, Minions at $22.1 million. See how close that is. And Minions obviously has a following more than any,
True.
Adam Sandler fan out there. $261.6 million totaling out. Trainwreck still has some legs. Get it?
Yeah, she does have some.
$17.3 million coming in. It's a total of $61.5 million. The new Southpaw movie, which features, not Jake Gyllenhaal, God. Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay.
Southpaw.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. $16.5 million. It's a boxing movie. It's a rated R boxing movie with, it's pretty standard from what you would expect. Looks good. I mean,
the training he put himself through for that movie.
Yeah.
He literally went 6 months hardcore and like Olympic boxing trainers. When he came out, even all his coaches were just, I'd put him in the ring right now for a belt.
Wow. He'd probably be more entertaining than what's out there right now.
Yeah.
To say.
We're looking at you, Adam.
And Paper Towns, even though I usually only do the top 5, number 6, Paper Towns, $12.5 million. It's from the writer of what was the one, the real chick flick from last year, Fault in Our Stars or whatever, though.
Fart in Our Stars.
And the reason I mention that is because it's got the chick who's going to be in Suicide Squad next year also.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so while you were gone, Bradley and JR, Jurassic World is now at number 3 movies of all time, surpassing the Avengers. Yeah, I said it. You heard me correctly.
That's me.
I wish I really knew what to say on that. I really don't. As I keep saying tonight, I don't know what's right anymore. I don't understand how this movie. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
It was very
sure.
entertaining. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 if I was nice enough for that. It couldn't touch the original.
Yeah, it can't.
And while I am not a Marvel fanboy, I will say The Avengers is way, way better than that movie could ever be.
Yeah.
It
actually had characters that were likable.
And you're putting it on a pedestal up there with Titanic and Avatar, which
dude, no offense, but all that list shows is how much money they've made. It doesn't speak to quality of film.
True.
But but why is this movie making so much money? Who in their right mind is going to continue seeing this and funding this movie?
Well, compared to most movies nowadays,
maybe
it actually had a better recipe than most. There wasn't the long drawn out intro. There wasn't any.
Just go straight into
is it because it's dinosaurs?
It was just
please help me understand.
Bam,
okay,
we're done.
All right. I don't know. It annoys me.
Satisfy me or show me something now. Society. It
It wasn't for the
Did it
story. I mean,
No. It was basically it was a studio made. It was a studio made, but the studio knew the checklist and they did the checklist well. Let's be honest, that's what it was.
You mean they followed the formula, Bradley?
They followed the formula. They followed it.
Well, they did something right because $1.5 billion worldwide. I mean,
I've seen it twice.
yeah. You saw it twice. Okay.
I only saw it once. I don't need to see
I
it
saw
twice.
it once. I don't know if I'd need to see it again. I don't think I'll be buying it at all. I mean, Jurassic World has now become the third highest grossing film at all time, sitting behind Titanic at number 2 with $2.1 billion and Avatar at number 1 with $2.78 billion.
James Cameron owns the top 2.
Yeah, he can make. Well, I think it was Turtle in Entourage that said this movie could be the biggest pile of shit, and it be directed by James Cameron and still make money.
Sure,
and that's so true. Yes, and keeping up with our Jurassic World news, actually the boys, JR let me in on this one. Universal has announced that they will be making a sequel, shocker, to Jurassic World. It will be coming out on June 22nd, 2018. Give it the ding.
The dong.
All right, now we can leave that in. Hey, okay. Oh, payback, Bradley, right?
Guess we're both doing Freudian slips tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm clean.
Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard will be returning. Last we heard, Colin Trevorrow will not be returning. He said that right before this one came out. We know that he is going on to be directing a Star Wars movie, Episode 8.
But I just want to know, of all people that was in that film, is the dude that runs out with a margarita still going to be in it? Did he make it?
I would say it was
That's the only person I care about.
It was Jimmy Buffett.
It had to be Jimmy Buffett. It was in
Jimmy
front
Buffett,
of his restaurant.
How can you top a cameo like that? I really
Just
don't
picks
know.
up the margaritas and he books it. I'm out.
You became a Twitter sensation.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Well, I mean, just with the Jurassic World movie, I guess what I'm so mad about is that just like
it didn't have the heart or the soul.
I don't understand why it was so popular. I mean, my favorite movie so far this summer is Mad Max. It's a rated R movie. It's not for everybody or whatever.
Because imaginative. It was different. It was imaginative. And
Maybe
creative.
so. And I think it did overall pretty good. I don't have the totals for that
I think
right
it's
about
also
now.
because you're never going to be able to put anything from that franchise up with number 1, and you just
True.
you
set the bar so high.
I get a vibe
Yeah.
like the second you walked in, you were thinking this had better be at least as good as the
here's
second
the thing,
one.
JR. I set my expectations so low that I was actually when I was entertained by it. I'm like at the same time I was pulling Bradley's where I'm just saying.
But you can also
You
pick
got to be
apart-
kidding me!
Yeah,
You're getting
doing-
a Jeep together, and you just know just to change the battery after 10 years.
No.
20 years?
The kid walks up to the Jeep and it walks up to the
Spoiler
Jeep.
alert.
Yeah, the kid. Spoiler alert. Walks up to it and immediately just goes, "Oh, 1992 Sierra Jeep." I'm like, balls.
Well, dude,
Get
you
out.
could tell he was like high functioning autistic or something from the the way they had him filmed and the way he was talking and whatnot. I was like, okay, he's a savant, so either there's something wrong with him or he's extremely highly functional. Like,
Shit.
I don't know. I mean, it's
picked up on that from the jump.
so obviously. I mean, I don't know where they can take the franchise from here. I mean, they left it kind of open for
Yeah,
that,
they did.
and we won't go into spoilers with that at all. But it's just. My mind, I'm just in shock that a movie, I mean, no one could have foreseen this coming. If you said Avengers Age of Ultron would have overtaken the Avengers, I would have believed that at the beginning of the year. That
easily.
makes sense to me, or whatever, just because you have such a big superhero franchise that Marvel's developed. If you say Star Wars, when that comes out in December, is not even going to come close to the money that Jurassic World came out,
Oh, dear
then
Lord.
you're going to have to find somebody else to do your movie reports because it's not going to be me. I'm trading in for TV shows then or something else.
Separate
Go the IGN route.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I predicted that before Summer Movie Report.
Yep. So that's,
I hope I'm wrong, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that with that. If I didn't mention this with Star Wars while we were on the topic of that, are you familiar with the guys who did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie? Lord and Pratt. I believe it. Lord and Miller. Yeah, Lord and Miller. They are going to be directing a Han Solo movie. Don't know how you guys feel about that at all. I mean,
It's gonna be
you,
like an
you guys have
earlier-
actually seen more of their work than I have. I've never seen any of the 21, 22 Jump Street
I
movies.
haven't seen
Not
any.
that I didn't want to. It's just like, okay, it wasn't on the top of my list because I had a thing against Channing Tatum at the time. Just, to be
I
truthfully told.
feel like, I don't know, maybe their style would be a little too silly.
silly
Yeah,
for it.
that's kind of the reaction that a lot of people
I mean,
talk
I
about.
know with Han Solo,
Solo,
he's a wisecracker, he's a wise ass, he's a...
Right.
But if
I
you're
don't
doing
know
him
if
in a
it's gonna-
younger style, is that really the route you want to take with him?
See, if anything, I wish that they were directing a Ghostbusters movie like they had eventually talked about at one time. I think that would have made more sense. Something like that. If there's also talks that they were going to write the Flash for WB, for the new WB DC universe. But for them to do Star Wars, it just kind of seems out of it. I don't know. I mean, but then again, you got guys that were writing on Community, then they directed a Captain America, a sequel.
True.
So anything's possible. Now they're going to direct Avengers, Infinity War. So anything's possible. So, I mean, I don't know.
If you can think it, you can dream it.
Exactly. So let's get into it, Bradley. And
Lord.
JR, I know you haven't seen the movie, but we will go spoiler free as much
Try
as we
to.
can. Huh?
Not gonna bother
Let me tell you who dies.
Not gonna bother me.
Let's talk a little bit about something kind of tiny there, Bradley.
Little. That's an understatement.
All right. We're going to talk about
jokes.
Ant-Man. All right. Straight up, Bradley, and JR, I will give this a 3 out of 5. I think overall that's
Lower than Jurassic World.
Yeah.
yeah, actually I will.
Ow.
And it's not for my hate for Marvel.
Do tell,
It's not
do
hate for
tell.
Tell.
Show me why I was right.
This one is ready for it. He's had plenty of time to gather his thoughts, and we will get to his thoughts. Don't you worry about it. But, and I guess more or less it's everything we expected. Okay. It took the humor route.
It stuck with the humor route.
That's all,
Ran
that's
with
all
it.
they could do.
That's all. Pretty much.
You had Paul Rudd, you had,
That's why they had to go humor.
you had
Michael
Michael
action
Pietro.
star.
you had Peyton Reed, you had the guy who
Michael Douglas.
Well, I was going to say the guy who helped write Anchorman, who directed it. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he, of course, was doing writing. What is Anchorman? But nothing but crazy off the top comedy.
Yeah.
You had Michael Douglas in it. You had Ava Gillen Lilly in it. You were like, we both agree. We looked at each other like, JR's going to love this part.
Yeah.
Oh, I've loved her since Lost. She's the only reason I willingly watched Real Steel for 5 minutes.
Oh wow. You put in a movie with the guy T.I. You put in the guy. Oh man, who is the
Michael Pienza.
Yeah, Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
Let's be honest. The only thing you definitely remember from that film,
JR
Michael Pena.
JR, I love the sound effect, and I overuse it. I will be overusing this tonight. Because it plays into the goddamn movie. That's why.
Yes, it does. That is the horn on the damn van.
That's exactly.
Back it up.
Yeah.
Back it up. Back it up.
Back it up.
Back it up. Back it up. Yo, man, I don't think they see us. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, man, they see us.
Okay. And I mean, it is such a cookie cutter movie.
Yes, it
JR.
is.
That's
Yes,
what this
it is.
If you just said, okay, Brian, I got an idea for a movie. We're gonna have we're gonna have a good guy. Okay, we're gonna have a suit. And this is a superhero movie pitch. We're going to have a good guy in a suit. And all of a sudden, we're going to have an unlikely hero. Okay? We're going to have him as being a father figure as well, too. And then we're going to have a guy who wants to, owner of a company who wants to overtake things and just have more power and, be as evil as he can for absolutely no unsaid reason in there.
No, there's an evil reason.
No, he didn't.
Love me, Dad, love me.
Yeah.
Notice me, senpai.
What was that, Dr. Evil? Uh-oh, someone's got some daddy issues.
That's the villain in a nutshell. I'm not lying. You think I'm lying. I'm not.
Yeah. And then we're just going to have a, no twist whatsoever in it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to say, okay, good guy.
Shocker.
Good guy saves the day.
Yeah.
Throwing Thomas Choo Choo Train, you got yourself a Marvel.
The choo-choo train, yes.
Because that's what this movie was. Oh, it was so predictable. And that's,
Yes, yes, it was.
I have no problem with the predictability. It's just that it was just so, okay, insert joke here because,
Don't get me wrong. The
insert
jokes,
action scene here.
yeah, it was cookie cutter. There's copy and paste. Put in there, just put in the actors they wanted. Don't get me wrong. The humor was good.
Humor was good, but
He was
actually,
good.
I will tell you there, Bradley,
But-
Michael Pena was getting annoying because he's so stereotypical.
Oh, he played the stereotypical dude. All right, so you see, I was with my buddy Armando, and then we went to the went to the art show. But I'm more of a humanist kind of guy. And I'm like, damn, look at this, son. But he was telling me about this girl. He was telling me he was hanging out with this girl last night. You're like, man, that girl's fine. Went to the bartender, like, is that fine girl there? I need a good drink for her.
Did you see this movie again?
No,
You
I
sure?
just know
'Cause that was
line.
pretty damn good, Bradley.
No, I'm just good at remembering stuff, apparently. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he does these, like, long-winded stories that,
Yeah.
like, go at least, like, 3 times in the film, but they're, like, the same cliche over and over
Right.
again. Still, don't get me wrong, they're hilarious. But
There's a good cameo that you're going to like in there. I enjoyed the
Yeah.
cameo in there. Actually, I think he was probably one of the best parts of it. I had to say so myself.
but yeah, it is. It's cookie cutter, and they know it's like we knew going into this. It's like you can't take this character serious, so we're just going to go the comedy route and run with it the whole way.
I mean, you
through.
have your superhero called Ant-Man.
Yes.
I mean, what can you really do with that?
What can you do?
I
A
mean,
guy
you know,
the size of an ant.
Yeah. CGI, I would say.
Used heavily.
Huh? Oh,
Heavily.
I had to be.
Had
though.
to,
You know,
yeah.
it's a combination of Iron Man meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And I think we called that from the
famously.
very beginning. And I haven't seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a long time, but I can tell you that the ant in there looked more real than in here. There. Boom. Mic drop. I'm out.
Yep. It's
You know.
wait for it. Probably, I would say, to come out on.
I mean, there's people.
I intend to.
It's.
Yeah.
I mean, even the movie theater when we saw it. I mean, it
was
was
packed.
It was a pretty
packed.
good crowd in there for Sunday.
But you can tell it was designed.
This has
its younger audience demographic written all over it.
Yeah,
Easily.
This was supposed to be the end of Phase 2. I didn't see that at all.
I
in
didn't
this.
see it.
I really didn't.
You know that they were trying to lead in.
They gave you hints. All right, they did
hints.
give you hints at like Cap 3. They really did. If
Cap
you
3
if you look more in it,
I didn't really look
even
at
with
that.
Spider-Man, they
Okay.
threw in hints at that too. Yeah.
But I saw more of just like, let's try and work them into our MCU so
Yeah.
we can totally be part of
Yeah.
it. It's like, you're trying really hard here.
You're trying to fit a peanut butter cookie in here into a chocolate chip macadamia nut thing.
Yeah,
And it
basically.
just ain't working. I mean, Paul Rudd did fine. I have nothing
Yeah.
against Paul Rudd. I think, it's just that, I mean, of course, the part where he's taking his shirt off, Evangeline Lilly's like, yeah, I mean, it was just so placed in their product placement. Definitely.
Oh, product
I hope
placement.
you're a Baskin Robbins fan, JR. I really do right
Or
now.
lifesavers, or you have your iPhone, or yeah, the
Siri
lifesavers.
on.
It's okay,
Siri on. Playing
Android.
the
Somebody
Cure.
will take us seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, Bradley, I don't
the whole
know. what would-
Baskin Robbins scene. Oh, Jesus Christ!
I just wanted to walk out then. I really did. No, I didn't. It's just like, okay, I know where you're going with this, and just
Yo,
get it
man,
out of the
Baskin
way.
Robbins always finds out.
It worked for
I know.
shawarma. It could work for this too.
No.
No,
No.
even though I know my place around the place now is carries shawarmas now. It does.
Yeah. Bradley, what do you give it, buddy? He's gonna be hard on it, I think.
I'm gonna be hard. I'm gonna go 2.5.
Ooh.
It's like I wish better because
I
of
think
how.
that may have been the lowest rating we've ever had on the show.
Maybe.
No, I've done.
Oh no,
worse.
50 Shades of Grey was down there.
Yeah, it's one of the things where it's like, yes, the humor, but that's what was carrying the film the whole way through. Like you
Yeah.
had the cookie cutter setup. For God's sakes, you had montages just to get through
Need a
everything.
montage.
I said that to him twice as we went through. I'm
Yeah.
just like, here we go. Here's the montage for like
Learn
twice.
to use the suit.
Yeah, learn to use the suit.
Learn to fail with
No,
the suit.
learn to use the suit. Here to set up how to break into the guy's house the first time. I was like,
Christ.
are you kidding me? We're doing this again. Yep.
It was, it had Iron Man written all over
It's-
it. And
yeah.
it wasn't,
Iron
Iron Man
Man's
was
Iron
made
Man.
in 2008. This is like 7 years later, and it doesn't come close to Iron Man. As a matter of fact, I think it would come, Iron Man 2 is kind of, but Iron Man 2 was still better.
Yeah, it holds itself basically.
Iron
on
Man 2 was a setup movie as well, too. This is just,
We just want to push this in there. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's
no, it's not
just-
bad. I just,
Again, the humor is the strongest part.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
it's obviously the weakest of the Marvel movies I've seen.
Yeah.
And that's, but, I'm,
Oh, this will be
Well-
a tough test. Thor versus Ant-Man.
gotta go back and watch the Thor movies now.
oh God.
I'll take on that responsibility. No, I don't mind.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it by year's end. Yep. Okay, Trainwreck. We will talk about this really quickly. It's Amy
Schumer.
Schumer. Yeah. Not familiar with her at all. Okay. I've only seen the trailers for this movie. I knew that I was going to probably end up seeing it and ended up taking my girl to see it. And, it was a good time overall. I thought it was going to be more of the dirty, humor to it. Kind of like how they did with, Bridesmaids in a way. And this was a Judd Apatow movie though too. So, and you kind of have an idea now what to expect with a Judd Apatow movie.
It'll have its good moments, but there'll be that kind of feel good crap at the end, and you're just I'm
Exactly, JR.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He did that exact same recipe with This Is 40, and I was like, this is gonna be a good
Paul Rudd
waste
movie.
of time.
No, actually, my favorite of his is obviously 40-Year-Old Virgin. That was just, that just
Start to finish.
yes, it was perfect. He hasn't been able to duplicate that at all. Amy Schumer has her own humor that not many or some people will like and some people won't like. She had some really funny parts. She actually wrote it, as a matter of fact, though, too. And it's more, think of this movie as like, all right, well, how do I say this without, we've already had some drops tonight, so I mean, I might as well drop this one too while I'm at it. Imagine like, there's the typical movie where the guy who's sleeping around and is not ready for a committed relationship or whatever. Flip-flop that. Girl not sleeping around with multiple guys and, not looking for committed. Because that's what her father always said, that, what's the word?
Can't get attached, committed,
yeah,
tied down.
Just, exactly.
Of course, you turn to me to ask that question.
Huh?
Nothing?
You're good with words. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, though, it's got 2 cameos in there that one I knew that I was probably going to like more than the other. It had John Cena in there. And, he's like, they're doing a movie theater, and this is not spoiling it at all because it's been in the trailers. But he's like, the one guy's telling him to shut up, and he's like, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg, shut the F up." Be like, "Mark Wahlberg? I look like 10 Mark Wahlbergs," or whatever. And it just, and then he actually was probably the funniest part of the movie in my mind.
Michael
whatever. John Cena. Yeah,
John
the wrestler.
Cena, excuse me.
Yeah. I think if he got more into comedic roles, he's got quite a future ahead of him instead of less Marine movies. Just saying.
He stopped at 1.
Yeah. LeBron James had a cameo in there though too, and a way bigger cameo than I thought he would. I gotta say, I did laugh when he was on there, and I'm not anything but I'm not a LeBron James fan, no matter how hard I could try. He had some really funny parts in there when he was, with Bill Hader, especially the basketball scene in there though too. It's,
Obviously.
yeah,
he
Suck it, LeBron James.
yeah. Bill Hader did a good job in it. It's a romantic comedy. It's got some feel-good moments. It's got some standout jokes in it. It's nothing that I haven't seen before, though, too. But it was an interesting perspective of swapping it. Say, what if a girl wanted to, just not be in a committed relationship or whatever? I'll give it the 3.5 or whatever. Something you can take the ladies to. I think they'll enjoy it because it's not the Bridesmaids, humor that I was expecting at all. I thought Bridesmaids was a lot of fun. But this one was a little different. I guess I had higher expectations for it, considering a company which I will never mention on this website again, or this podcast again. Totally, I think their rating was utterly crap, but that's okay.
Inflated.
It's something that's a little rotten, and it's you can pick off of Vine and stuff like that too. Yeah, they can. If I ever get to writing articles again, believe me, I'll be writing a big article about them in the time, if I have some time. Anyway, anywho, though, on to other things here while we have a little bit more time left. Bradley, you just watched this. JR, you've watched this probably at least once or twice, I think. I know I've watched it maybe 50 times.
Always.
Yeah, not because that's how I am. Just like
he's really, really bored at work.
Yeah, I might as well put that on again. Yeah, Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond. Your kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Another one.
So the new Spectre trailer came out, and it came out probably about 3 a.m. on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, give or take.
Jesus,
over here. Remember, it comes out in London first, and then it works its way over here. So as soon as I woke up, the first thing I'm doing is like watching this and just looking over every little bit detail. Because this trailer has a lot of stuff in it, though, Bradley.
Yeah, that's what I worry about.
I'm not going to go through the whole depiction of the trailer. We will make sure that we tweeted this out. We'll put it up again. This is definitely, it looks like Skyfall unplugged, if I must say so myself. And what made this movie stand out so much to me, as opposed to any other Bond trailer we've had in the recent years, is that its use of a certain theme in there that any Bond fan will know. It's the On Her Majesty's Secret Service theme in there too. And it was pretty evident. They made sure they threw it in there, and we kind of know what this is going to end up being. It's going to be On Her Majesty's Secret Service, just kind of a redo. The way I see it anyway there too. And I could be wrong. That's just speculation. It shows 007 in a trip to Mexico. He's obviously not supposed to be there, according to how Ralph Fiennes is talking to him. And all of a sudden, it's like he's going to go rogue.
Sounds familiar.
Well, yeah, Mr. White is in there for all of you Bond fans from the Daniel Craig days. Anyway, he was in Casino Royale. He was in Quantum Solace as well too. He's hasn't shaved in quite a long time too. And he has a daughter in there. If I had to, guess in that too, whose Bond needs to protect. You get your first good glimpse of Christoph Waltz in here. Speculation on that. I mean, we've been saying, oh, he's going to be Blofeld. If he's not going to be Blofeld, then why the frick is he dressing up like him? It just, he's wearing the whole getup. For anybody who's ever seen that.
Obvious though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it leads into something else.
There's a guy from Sherlock in there too. For any of you fans out there, and he was announced when they announced the cast for Spectre back in December. No one knew exactly who he was going to play aside from like a higher up in like the MI5, MI6 organization though too. This guy has like just that evil stare in there too, and he's fighting Ralph Fiennes in there if you look at it near the end. He's going to have some kind of big part in it. I don't know if he's going to be somebody that we didn't think he was going to be. I don't know. Maybe it's misdirection. No idea. The Aston Martin with flamethrower button on there. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's turbo boost or whatever, but I don't care.
Yeah, it had turbo boost too. You have Mr. Hinks in there, Dave Bautista, looking like the next Odd Job. Bautista looks like he's pretty badass in there.
Random task.
You have Moneypenny looking so fine in there too. Monica Bellucci, the oldest Bond girl in history, 50 years old, still looking hot damn. The locations in there, the action, lots of action to this one, as opposed to, I would say, even Skyfall. So I think Sam Mendes has stepped it up in that. My only feelings with this is that, first of all, like I said, the misdirection are either he is Blofeld or he's not. Just say it. Once and for all. I don't want it to be a Star Trek Into Darkness where they're just like, oh, this isn't so-and-so, and well, he is really,
It's not Khan. Yes, it is.
Khan! Yeah. And my only other fear is that he's going to be, with everything that we heard about, like the whole writing of this movie though too, that it's going to end up being not as good as Skyfall. So I'm gonna set it in the expectation saying this will be about like kind of how Quantum Solace was a follow-up to Casino Royale.
Okay.
Well,
That's.
I think you're talking of a big ass horse of a difference right here, though. I mean, Skyfall storyline and writing wise, that was leaps and bounds over Casino Royale. I mean, just not for the fact of just a regular fan, but I mean, even getting like national attention and critical acclaim. I mean,
it's the highest grossing Bond film ever, and rightfully so. I'm saying that overall,
this is going to be more of a visual, like carnage candy type deal as opposed to your story driven type Bond.
Well, I'm afraid it's going to be more action scenes instead of the story in there too, because now you've got this Bond. Daniel Craig's Bond is a character driven story now too. It's going deeper, just saying, okay, this Bond has feelings. He's got a whole bunch of stuff that we never knew happened in his life or whatever.
Organization. Wait a minute, backstory. Here's the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Casino Royale and Skyfall, I've never been able to say which one I like better because they're so damn close and, one has more classic elements than the other, I guess. The other one was just such a good, kickstart to it though, too. The whole Bond franchise. Be like, okay, here's Bond before he became Bond. We'll throw in the tuxedo. We'll throw in the martini. We'll throw in the Bond girl. Oh, wait, she's not your typical Bond girl. And then the not so happy ending. And I like that.
Vespa.
Yeah. And might I say, Leah Seydoux looks like she's pulling a Vesper in there, but I really don't care. She, I think I'm going to become a new fan of hers as well.
She can pull whatever she wants.
Yeah. So anyway, though, go see the Spectre trailer number 2 on there. It is, it's a great trailer. Everything I could have wanted and more. So I just hope the movie just delivers. I have higher expectations for something like this.
Do.
Well, it's like, and you know what another fear of this, last thought on this, is that this is going to be like a Dark Knight Rises for the Dark Knight.
Okay.
That's what I'm afraid of. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, that's just me. So,
I'm interested to see who does the intro song.
That's going to be really.
You can't get much better than winning a Grammy and the Oscar for that.
Yeah.
There's thoughts that, Sam Mendes did say this, one that we would know who would be singing the Bond theme in the next week or so. when he said that, it was when we were off the air, and now the trailer is released. So I wonder if you're going to have really anybody singing it. Just a thought. Just a thought. Anyway, Hunger Games Mockingjay trailer 2. That was released. James, you had a chance to see this. Bradley, I know you're a fan of the Hunger Games overall, I would say.
And enjoy them. I enjoy them.
Yeah. You enjoy them. JR, you're the bigger fan for a certain reason.
They're the best of the teenage dystopian love triangle story movies.
Basically, yeah.
Looking at you, Divergent crap.
We know that the book, there was a total of 3 books, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this
I'm taking the last one and expanding it out.
They're doing the Hollywood thing. Let's draw it out.
They're doing they look at us like,
one,
Harry Potter did that. Let's do it too.
This one looks like, okay, well, we're going to put everything from part 2 and part 3 onto this last one. We're going to just take all the highlights, and they're going to make, how do we say this? Pretty much if everybody who hasn't seen the last couple movies, pretty much, what's the guy's, Donald Sutherland's character, President Snow. President Snow is total son of a bitch. And Katniss Everdeen is going to march everybody from all the districts into the city. The only problem with the city is that it is rigged like a Hunger Games, competition. And,
surprise!
Yeah.
Who never saw that one coming?
That's exactly like the book.
Okay. Well, I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
Dude, do I look like I read? Come on, really? No. Okay. It's all right.
That's what I'm here for.
No, it's all right.
That's what I'm here for.
So, all right. You said you read the books then. So you would say this comes pretty close to everything in there from what you've seen?
They've Harry Pottered it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first part was kind of the build-up. Wait for it. Let's show a little bit of action. And
Right.
now this one's just going to be the...
All action.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I thought it looked really good.
Visually stunning, yeah.
Yeah, really it was. Like I said, Bradley, take everything from Hunger Games 2 and 3, mash them together. That's what you get here. And,
Pretty much.
And hopefully a good conclusion to the story. Everything they've done so
they
far
do the
points at
ending
this, that they
fine,
will,
yes.
it will lead into a great conclusion. Having read the book, this might make it even more enjoyable for me too. And then maybe I can go back and read the book. Who knows? We will also make sure that we tweet that out there as well. I'm running short on time here, but I did want to talk about a couple things really quick. One, we've mentioned before about, or X-Men. Okay. Now that we have Fantastic Four coming out in another week or so, I really don't know what to think of that movie just yet. I saw another trailer over this weekend, or another TV spot, and it's playing Kanye West on the Power song on there too.
Lost me there.
And it's just like, okay, well, what do you got? What do you really?
You sold me on that second trailer you released.
Yeah, you did. And
now
it's
I'm like,
Fox, what do you got going on?
What are you doing here?
And there's always been talks that about X-Men Days or X-Men franchise collaborating or just doing crossover with Fantastic Four. Now it all depends on how Fantastic Four is going to end up doing those two. Because they have already greenlit a sequel, but Amazing Spider-Man 3 was going to happen too, and then what happened? Amazing Spider-Man 2.
We'll see how this does.
They did
first.
the same thing with Terminator.
Yeah. Bryan Singer has come out to say that those ideas are in play. They would be a natural matchup because they're both ensemble films, and there's a natural mechanicism, by which to do it. It deals with time. That's all I'm going to say.
Mechanism.
So in other words, ideas are in play, so we have to wait and see what's going to happen with this franchise first. Before it has to get started before you can do
If
it.
this makes money, we're going to do it.
Pretty much,
Do
yeah.
a crossover, except I don't see it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think. Imagine how many superheroes would be in that movie.
Wait, you want to do
X-Men?
You want X-Men and you want to do Fantastic Four. So you got 4 and a ton of other guys. I don't
see it.
I don't see it either.
In a comic book itself, that would be awesome.
Comic book
works,
yeah.
but you can't make that transition from comic books to movies, just like you can't make a transition from video games to movies.
Exactly.
Sometimes some things aren't just meant to be.
Sadly.
And I mean, while it could, in theory, I don't like it.
In theory, I just don't like the idea of just like those how those
we
characters
have to
interact
see.
with each other.
I mean, this is going to be probably one of the last big movies we're going to see for the summer. Aside from that, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So,
can't wait for that. Actually, I'm actually
Man from U.N.C.L.E. I'm more anticipating than Fantastic Four.
Actually, right
and
now,
that's
after
not a
seeing
bad
that trailer,
thing. I mean, anything with Henry Cavill, my fiance's going to drag me to, so, and I have no problem with that at all either. Fantastic Four really has something to prove because you got to get the stale taste out of everybody's mouth from the Jessica Alba days. And then you have to...
She doesn't leave a stale taste.
No, she
it's the
doesn't.
movie.
Well, her part in there, maybe. Yeah. All right, fine. The Michael Chiklis. There you go.
No, just the movie itself.
Just the
Just
movie
the movie
itself.
itself,
Because, I mean, when I saw the trailer, I remember seeing the trailer for The Silver Surfer, and then I was like, yes.
This could be great.
It's like, and...
no!
Yeah, oh, God. Train wreck that was. Why? Even on an FX movie weekend, I will turn that off. that's
Let's see what's on HGTV instead.
Yeah. Anyway,
TLC? Why not?
Right. Yeah.
History Channel Tank Battle. Yay!
Yeah. I don't know. Fantastic Four, it just got a lot
It's
to...
got
yeah.
to prove. It's got to prove itself.
If it could... It might not do Ant-Man. I'll give it that.
If it outdoes Ant-Man, I'll be
Honestly, though, boys, with the summer movies we've had, and I mean, we can
we were
talk about this
spoiled in the
another time.
beginning. Let's be honest. We got spoiled from the start.
No, it's just that what is the one movie that you can say so far this summer that's really been the standout movie that you've liked?
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Fury Road, easily.
All around Mad Max, I think, for all of us. I mean, the superhero movies, though, I mean,
Don't get me wrong. Avengers, great. Like
Avengers was good. It
was good.
It was good.
Avengers did what we knew it would do.
exactly.
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as the original Avengers. Ant-Man, so.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, we don't know yet. Jurassic World,
I'm the only
Yeah.
one on that one.
yeah. I don't know. It's just the summer. I'm more ready for 2016 to be here. I really am because of what we have coming. So.
You got Deadpool.
But what about Terminator?
Oh, forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this? How about we talk about Tom Cruise and Top Gun 2? Actually, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation comes out this week, and
He's already got his tickets lined up, ready to go for IMAX.
no,
He's
no,
actually
no,
going to go
no.
get into his tent that he has outside of the cinema.
Oh, yeah, that's why we're not going to record this week. I'm kidding.
Yep.
Tom Cruise is said that he's ready to reprise his role as Maverick. He was saying that that what he wants to do is he wants to have it, of course, more practical. And if it does happen, he says, I don't want any CGI jets. I want to shoot like how they did with the first one. He's 53
Even though
years
that-
old, and he
Even
said,
though that helicopter was CGI'd in.
What?
He said the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said the first Mission Impossible?
No, Top Gun.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm lost here.
Oh, no. Yeah, he wants to do Top Gun 2, Bradley.
Okay,
There you
good.
go. Okay. But he's 53 years old. Originally, it was supposed to be Tony Scott, who directed the first
Hard
one,
pass.
directing the second one.
Hard pass. just what JR is doing over here.
Yeah.
Third
Hard
pass.
No,
Yeah.
no, definitely not. No.
Definitely not feeling it. Not feeling it. No.
I don't want another Top Gun,
Top
honestly. It's
Gun 2 stealth sequel.
Can't you just see Channing Tatum in there?
Actually, I just see Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx hopping over and going, man, this is our movie.
Pretty much. I have no desire to see a Top Gun 2. I think they should just let it be.
Just leave
don't
the first
even
one.
give it. Yeah, just
Don't
yeah.
touch it. Just leave it.
I mean, Behind Enemy Lines kind of did like a little throwback to Top Gun at the beginning of that, anyway, though too. So, and I will end off with this and your thoughts on this, even though it hasn't happened yet and it is in talks. First of all, LeBron James did sign a deal with Warner Brothers this past week.
Space Jam.
Yeah, pretty much. It hasn't been made official yet, but there's a good chance because this has always been rumored.
I don't.
Space Jam 2 has now could become more of a reality than we thought it would be.
Why?
I don't know.
Even the first, because like Space Jam was just like, it wasn't really good, but it was
Is
just
that on
people
Netflix
remember.
by any chance? Does anybody know?
It's on
No.
Amazon Prime right now.
It's on
Okay.
Amazon Prime. But
Which you could get if you go to banteringbohs.com.
there you go.
There you go, buddy. Thank you.
But- Yeah, because like I remember
Does
that.
it hold up? I don't know.
No.
Actually, I'll admit I just watched this like 2 nights ago. It's just the whole
It's just our
classics,
memories, the childhood
you know,
memories.
and
we,
it's
we saw it
going
through
back for
rose-tinted,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, okay, I see why I enjoyed this.
So
When's the last time Bugs Bunny or anything had anything remotely?
Good
Um,
lines, yeah.
I mean, it definitely wasn't the Looney Tunes back in action because that was total crap. God, that
Brendan
was
Fraser still owes money for that movie.
damn you, Brandon Fraser. That was total crap.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Looney Tunes just have their own movie. They don't need to have any interaction
Yeah,
between.
Yeah, the
Yeah. Old
Muppets
school.
got it. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, that's my next point, though. The Muppets had such a, they've have such a following anyway. I mean,
They're getting another.
They're getting a
they're getting a
TV
TV show, though,
They're
too.
making fun of
So-
reality TV shows, isn't it?
Exactly. So I don't see why the Looney Tunes need to have like a celebrity attached to it at all, though. Too.
Can't they just be
I think
by
they could
themselves?
just. Why
hold
if
themselves?
Peanuts can be by itself? Why, or we've seen what happens with movies like the Smurfs, where they just throw in the adults in there. And
You
just,
don't
it
need
just,
them. It's like let them stand
We
on their own
don't
2
need
feet.
you anymore.
Let them stand on their own 2 feet. That's the reason why you watch them in the first
Looney
place.
Tunes, you go back. Nothing's funnier than just Bugs Bunny, Foghorn Leghorn, Roadrunner, and Wile E. Coyote. Just they're all good.
Duck season, rabbit season, duck season,
Fud season.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Classic.
and the fact that you're throwing in such a, how do I say this, whore in there, like LeBron James, that, sorry,
Huh?
JR.
What?
Sorry, JR. Sorry, JR. Yeah. Anyway, though, but that's what I
was
think.
that?
Yeah, pretty much. So the only thing I have to say to him is pretty much,
You Slater.
yeah, pretty much. I'm out. Recommendations for the week, boys. Go for it.
If you haven't been watching YouTube for the past week or so, or how long it was, and haven't
I
already been...
have, but it's been trailers.
Oh,
One
well,
trailer.
in terms of like the video game channels and all the PewDiePie remakes people that are trying to be, Rocket League was just released not too long ago. It is a soccer game, but an actually decent one, unlike anything that EA will put out for the next 25 years, where it's basically an arcade-style soccer game with RC cars, shall we say.
Okay.
And you think that's like, okay, that makes it up. When you can start doing backflips and boost jumps and riding up the wall on the side where there's no out of bounds, and also destroying your enemies at the same time on a soccer field, actually pretty decently fun. It's about $20 for PC. I think PlayStation 4 guys got it for free this past month, if I'm not mistaken, if you have PlayStation Plus membership. But, and also included into the game as well is that they have cross-platform play. So PC players can play against the, PlayStation 4, guys out there as well. So yeah, for a $20 game for about playing soccer with RC cars, actually pretty decent.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, and trust me, if you want videos on this, YouTube's going nuts on this already. And there's a reason why the servers were impossible to get a game in that first few weeks, I must say. So yeah, actually pretty good. But again, it comes from indie dev studio, just made this up, and they did a pretty damn good job.
Brilliant!
So yeah, give more props out to them. Rocket League, look it up.
We mentioned Southpaw in the movie report. If you are any form or iota of an Eminem fan, please go download the 2 songs that he is featured on in the track or soundtrack. You never really think you would hear yourself say this. Him becoming addicted to drugs and then getting clean was the best thing that could have happened for his career.
Eminem.
There is not a hip hop artist out right now that can lyrically write and deliver on his level right now, and it's proof in those 2 songs. And also a quick little trailer. A nerdy psychovan becomes Tom Cruise to a femme fatale AI in Ex Machina. Go see that movie.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I think it's on Redbox now, if I'm not mistaken. Quick tidbit though, they wanted Eminem to be the main actor in Southpaw. Not sure why he didn't do it, but no, I think I know why.
Probably would have had to work too hard. I gotta do boxing camp? Now I'll just be on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Watch them don't box. In theaters this week, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, definitely going to see that. Vacation, definitely going to see that as well too.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I keep seeing the trailers, and the more I see this in the TV spots, I'm getting really eager. I mean, Ed Helms, he wasn't my favorite part of Hangover, but this part might fit him more, I think.
Nerdy, clumsy dad.
Yeah, it kind of, and I've always been a fan of the Vacation movies, and we should have put that on. We could have put that on sequels, but when they got to European Vacation, that probably wouldn't have worked at all, though, too.
Yeah.
But Christmas Vacation is probably a worthy sequel,
True.
if not, though, too. And Clark Griswold and Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo do make small cameos in here. Obviously, we know Randy Quaid's not going to be making any cameos because he's somewhere up in Canada.
Yeah.
So, anywho, though, in the meantime, find us at thebanteringbohs.com. There you will find of our latest shows and links to all the various social media networks. Gentlemen, have a great week.
You too, sir.
And to everyone listening, thank you as always for joining us, and we will catch you next week. Peace out.
Here you go. Deuces.
Hey there, folks. Do make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Bantering Bohs. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Bantering Bohs. Thank you, and deuces.